Goaltending, F. Defense, F. Forwards, F. Coaches, F. Penalty kill, F. Power play, F. Effort, F. Discipline, F. The Oilers get their asses kicked 8-3. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the GCL Diesel Oil Stream post-game show right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Tom Gazzola, Shawn, Belle, and Ben Thomson with you. Oh, boy, baby. Buckle up. You can have your say. 780-218-9999. Jump into the nasty chat if you're watching on YouTube. GCL Diesel, providers of the best diesel engine components around, from turbochargers to injectors, fuel pumps to sensors. They are the critical engine component experts, proud to serve Edmonton and Northern Alberta for over 50 years. What a disaster that game was tonight at Rogers Place. I am sorry. Alert status red, you guys. When you get your asses absolutely whooped, I don't care if it's the first game back from a long road trip. I don't care if you're tired. This is unacceptable. And now we're not just talking about losses, you guys. I know they've had some close ones in recent weeks, but you've had your asses kicked 3 times, like shellacked, whooped up and down the ice. You have been embarrassed 3 times in the last 2.5 weeks. It started a couple weeks ago against the Avalanche, 9-1. You go into Buffalo, you lose 5-1 to frickin' Buffalo. I don't care if they rattled off a few more wins after that. They got their asses kicked by Calgary a couple of nights later, and then people, oh, they beat Carolina, oh, they beat this. I don't give a you-know-what. Then you go and you put together a couple of scrappy games after a 7-4 loss in Washington, and you look good against Tampa. You have the gusto, and you get a good goaltending performance from your backup. You lose in overtime after collapsing late. Okay, we gave you that one. We gave you that one here on the show. I think the fan base did too. We heard all right, I know they lost, but there was some good things about that game in Tampa. Then they follow it up with a good win against the Florida Panthers. So build on that, right? That's what everybody was talking about this morning around the rink, you guys. Optional skate, by the way. Optional skate. You get your asses absolutely delivered to you by the Dallas Stars. They made a mockery of you in your home barn. They absolutely embarrassed you on a night where this is the only game across the National Hockey League. Anybody that likes hockey is going, what game can I watch? Oilers and Stars. And you watch the Dallas Stars absolutely paste the Edmonton Oilers. Alert frickin' status red, boys. Everything was awful tonight.
I don't even know where to begin with the game.
You switched out of your suit. That's how angry you are.
I did. I was just like, you know what? I've had enough. I've had enough today. I think you hit the nail on the head. I think there's F's across the board. There's nothing you can defend. I mean, the first 3 goals when I was looking at it, it's backdoor tapping. Okay, so that's just you're not defending when you allow guys wide open backdoor. Second goal, right? It was off the power play. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it was a power play. Bumper just slides down, gets the rebound. They're late reacting. Just like, I don't even know if it's late reacting. It's just flat out slow. Goes in the back of your net. Then the next one, bad pinch, gets caught on the wall. Kulak gets caught on the wall. They go in 2-on-1. And then they were lucky they weren't down 4-0 because they waved off that high stick. That you can maybe argue might not have been high stick. And they like, where is the pushback? Like, I'm going to give
they don't have
clicks.
pushback.
I'm going to give a couple clicks though to Connor Clattenburg for scoring his first National Hockey League goal. So I'm going to give him one of those. Good job, kid. Right. But outside of that, it's a very disappointing night. It's a very frustrating night. And it's especially disappointing because of the way that you came off the end of the road trip where people thought you were starting to push in the right direction. And you walk out on home ice where you have not been there in almost 2 weeks. People are excited. Okay, well, you just beat the Florida Panthers, who's been your nemesis for the last 2 years. You played a good game. You get to Edmonton, you expect to have a little jump because you have some home cooking. You're in front of your fans who are excited to see you, and you just come out and you lay an egg. I don't understand.
Benny, how do you follow that up?
I honestly, I'm left speechless. I have a whole section on my page here of talking points that I want to bring up during the show. I have none. It's just the game told the story. I don't understand how after 2 solid efforts in Florida, you come home and the broadcast and what people are saying about this team, when teams go on long road trips and they come home, that first game at home is always tough. F that. F that. You are playing half of the Dallas Stars defense. Half of them are hurt. They're missing Rantanen and Duchesne tonight.
Yep.
Yeah,
Harley.
I understand you're missing Nuge and Wallman. But like I said on the pregame show, the injuries favor Edmonton tonight, or at least the people that were absent favor Edmonton tonight. And they get shellacked on their home ice in front of their fans. And it's not even like it's the first time this year. This isn't the first time. This isn't one of those once a year rare bad losses that were oh, that's embarrassing. This is your third one in the past however many couple weeks here.
Yep.
Twice at home. It is brutal that we're talking about this right now, and we're just past the first quarter mark of the season. 3 brutal losses. I'm at a loss of words, man. I don't know. I'm sure this will be a big discussion. And obviously, a lot of people are saying in the Nash chat, Skinner. I get it. He was bad tonight, but no one helped him out in front of him. There was the whole team. The reports from this past couple of days have been, it looks like Stan wants to wait till Christmas and give their roster a full chance when they're all healthy, how they look, and not dealing with a hard road trip and all this stuff.
Belsey.
Does that change anything now?
Okay. Belsey
you might not even be in position to wait till Christmas.
Belsey, you and I were sitting there with a guy from Oilers Hockey Ops, and we were joking with him. It was in the second intermission, and we're like, so how's that trade coming along? And what was his reaction? Not coming anytime soon.
Yeah. You can't wait.
Yeah.
So you're going to wait for Nuge to show up healthy? Hey, I'm not trying to disrespect Nuge, but is he going to add some fire and some pushback to your roster? What are we talking about here? You're going to wait till Christmas. I'm sorry, but right now you guys are bleeding. Your goaltending isn't good enough. Your D isn't good enough. Your forwards aren't scoring enough. You don't play physical enough. You don't try enough. You don't do enough. It's not enough. So how are you supposed to wait till December and be like, oh, yeah, we're just going to magically show up and now in December because we made a trade? There's got to be some soul searching, and somebody's got to look in the mirror and be like, well, what am I doing to fix this situation? And that goes from the top of the organization all the way down to the bottom. It's bad. You can't get blown out again on home ice.
Yeah, that
Oh, they did.
I tend to be an optimistic guy. Glass half full, right?
That's good.
The Colorado loss, right? As embarrassing as it was, I was like, hey, maybe this is a wake up call for this team. This might be the turning point. I don't understand how you can have that loss, the Buffalo loss, and now tonight's loss, and go, they'll figure it out. Something needs to change. Something. I'm not saying Knoblauch needs to get fired. I'm not saying Skinner needs to get traded. I'm not saying something. Just something. Something needs to change. Whatever it is, because whatever you have right now is simply not working.
It's messed up because they patch it together briefly.
Yep.
And they go, oh, okay, they look okay, right? We go, oh, that's them. They should be back to normal. Mm-hmm. And then they totally bottom out.
Yep.
Bottom the frick out. And that is a bottom out tonight. Big time. All right, text us 780-218-9999. We want to hear from you. Are you saying alert status red like I am? Let me know. Vinny Vegas, we're going to start with you. Says, hey, Tommy, a.k.a. Carey Fraser. Hey, thank you. Is Bowman going to realize that our goaltenders are not going to get us past the first round or even make the playoffs? Can we get some bite on this team besides Clattenburg? Maybe they should take some notes. Frustrating. Vinny Vegas. And all respect and props to Connor Clattenburg, you guys.
Yeah.
Scored his first NHL goal, mucked it up in front. He is 20 years old. Tonight, he played his 18th professional hockey game, and he was one guy that actually looked respectable out there. Unbelievable.
Playing fourth line, 20 years old, running around, hitting everything he saw, scores his first NHL goal. That passion, oh, man, if the rest of this Oilers crew had that passion that 20-year-old has. He's an 05. I'm an 03. Okay, I am 2 years older than this guy, and this guy's running around and being the only fire on this team right now. What are we talking about here?
It's embarrassing.
You're an old head, Benny.
You're old.
Just
you, not the rest of us. He called you Unc.
He would.
You know, one of the things that I asked Hernan and I asked actually Maddie and I asked Reid about this. Okay, so the game was 6-1, I believe. And you keep rolling out Draisaitl, you keep rolling out McDavid, you keep rolling out Hyman. The game's over. We talk about, hey, we're going to assess till December. Mm-hmm. Isn't that a perfect moment to assess what you have
tonight?
Yeah, like you're getting caved in.
How many ass kickings can you take before you're like, oh my God, something is very wrong with critically wrong?
Can we not get some energy guys out there and say, hey, let's just go turn this game into something that it probably doesn't need to be? Can we do something? But like you keep rolling these guys out, like what was the purpose of just continuing to try to go nuclear and roll these guys out when it's 6-1? I didn't understand that. I'm trying to figure that out. And I'm like, wait a second, like this game's over. Like, I'm sorry. They're not coming back.
No.
What's the point of what's the point of doing that? I didn't understand that.
And they're throwing out McDavid, Draisaitl, Hyman going, yeah, we're going to come back from down 5. Like, game's over, guys.
Clattenburg out. Let him play 15 minutes and go run around. Maybe there might be a little bit of like, okay, maybe we should go do the same.
Yeah.
To me, it does not make sense as to why you just consistently roll them out, because here's some of the things that have happened in the past. At some point, McDavid and Draisaitl get tired, a.k.a. late into the season, because you just run them 25 minutes every single time. Your bottom end is not contributing. How do you find ways for them to contribute? Well, give them some minutes. Allow them to do something. But when you just keep rolling the same old thing out, and these guys, hey, they're the best players in the world. I can't comprehend the level of skill that they have. But the reality of the situation, when you watch them play and they're playing 25 minutes and you're getting caved in, well, then would you not agree that they might be part of the problem in that game?
Absolutely.
So why not give other people opportunities to go out and start doing those things and say, okay, janitor, just here's some minutes. I don't know. I found that one very interesting. And I'm still trying to comprehend it, because at some point, hey, the game's over. We know this game's over.
Yeah. A former Oiler was texting me, one of your old teammates, Belzy, and he was talking about no speed, looks like no plan on the BO or in the neutral zone. They're hitting the post guy. He's on an island. 13-18 can play hard enough to deter. You have to get everyone involved. They don't have everyone engaged. And you just said, I'm not going to say who it was, but you just said, hey, so-and-so, who cares about the X's and O's? They suck. That was your response that you said to me, that I texted him, and he just laughed. He's like, yep, they do. And he was trying to get into the technical side of it. And I was like, have you watched them this year? Because they do this. And he goes, this is sad. So anyway, that's from a former Oiler that was just watching and texting to me personally.
I'm not trying to defend this team in any way, shape, or form, but at the same time, I'm sitting there saying, okay, well, Connor, Leon, Hyman, Connor, Leon, Roslovic, Connor, Leon, Hyman, Connor, Leon, Roslovic. You had at one point Frederick, and trust me, I understand what people are going to say. Frederick played 5 minutes, and it was like 11:56 in the third period. I'm sorry, but is he not somebody that you have said is going to be an energy guy for us?
He was supposed to be.
Why don't you put him and Clattenburg together with somebody else and say, here's what your job is for the next 11:56?
Yeah, he got hurt, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay. What about Mangiapane? Isn't Mangiapane supposed to be a guy that plays in your face?
Yeah.
What about the janitor? Isn't he supposed to be a guy that's
100%.
supposed to be doing those exact same things? But if you consistently say Connor, Leon, Hyman, Connor, Leon, Roslovic, well, what does that say to the rest of the roster? And once again, I'm not trying to defend anybody. I'm just having a discussion because it's something that doesn't make sense for me.
Let's go to the inbox, 780-218-9999. The Oilers get their asses kicked 8-3 by the Dallas Stars in their return from a 7-game road trip. This one says, when 97 and 29 asked to play together pre-cap, but the coach says yes, that's a red flag. When the team is ready to ship Pickard to minors and the leadership group says no, don't, another red flag. When the big money guys poop the bed, there is zero accountability. Another warning sign. Add it all up. It's a country club mentality. Knoblauch and his staff obviously just there to swing the gate open. Absolute crap show. You still think Knoblauch ain't on the hot seat, Tom? That's from the Sask Oilers fan. I'll tell you what. What do you want me to tell you? He just signed an extension. Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to get into it again. He just signed an extension. They just brought in new staff. The team is 10-10-5. Their losses are terrible, but I don't think they're going to go, hey, sorry, Chris, we're firing you. You just signed an extension. They've had how many coaches? 5 coaches in the last 7 years. I'm not getting into it again. Is he on the hot seat? Sure. I guarantee you he's feeling pressure, but I don't think they're getting rid of him. That's all I'm saying. All right, let's go to this one. It says, hey, guys, I stopped watching after the second. Foolishly, I had hoped with Clattenburg's first goal only to Dallas get 2 power play goals on 2 sloppy penalties from Hyman and Henry. Coach is as much to blame for this joyless team. Why he didn't pull Stewie after the third goal just to shake things up is beyond me. Coach K's robotic style has rubbed off on the team. Well, I was looking at the goalie gate to see after the third goal if he would yank him. I think it ended up being 4 goals on 8 shots.
Bellsy has
Go ahead, Bellsy.
Okay, my
yes,
hand
Shawn
was
in the
up.
back.
Okay, so you change Skinner for Pickard.
How good was he tonight?
When a team is listless, what is it going to do for you? Now, if you're playing a little bit harder and you're defending and you're trying to do some things where there's a couple bad goals and, hey, you need a lift, then I completely agree with you. But if you got nothing out of the gates and then you pull the goaltender and you still got nothing, well, what does that get you? I believe the answer is nothing. There wasn't a thing that was saving the Edmonton Oilers today because they decided that they were going to come out of the gates whatever. We'll see what happens today. We'll just roll the dice and see. That's the problem.
Really quickly on the goalie or the coaching thing. This comes in from Jimmy O. Says Jay signed an extension in 2022, got fired in 2023. So this extension thing doesn't cut it. I'll tell you. Okay, we'll see what happens, guys. I'm not going to say he's not feeling the pressure, Chris Knoblauch, but I'll tell you this: the difference between Jay Woodcroft and Chris Knoblauch was Jay Woodcroft had already worn out the shine had come off of Chris Knoblauch with the players and in the room, and there's too much information and too controlling and all over the guys. And they were tired of the act.
Croft, right?
Yeah, they were tired of the act. Yeah. So and they go off and rattle off a 2-9-1 start, and that was it. Whereas Knoblauch, he's gone back-to-back Stanley Cup finals, cleaned up Jay Woodcroft's mess, and is 10-10-5. So I understand where you're coming from, Jimmy O. And again, who knows? Like I said, if things go so rock bottom They might have to do something with, but it's not there yet. They're 10-10-5. They're not 2-9-1. They're a couple points out. Like, they've had, again, horrific losses. And it's very concerning. I'm just saying that the difference between the two coaches is one guy that they were tired of and his act had worn thin. The other guy they like, and all he's done is win, go to Stanley Cup Finals, and has them at 10-10-5. That's all I'm saying. Those are just facts. So if you're wondering what happened to Jay Woodcroft, he had an extension. They grew tired of his act. Okay? That's all I'm saying. Those are just facts. All right, let's go to this one. AJ in Montreal says it's trade time, not firing time. If it doesn't turn around in 2 weeks, there should be a staff shakeup, but not Knoblauch. That's AJ in Montreal. Derek from Spokane says 97 is a generational talent who we have all marveled at for over a decade, wondering what his weaknesses are. It appears it may be that his weakness is not on the ice. It's the pride associated with preserving friendships/relationships versus winning. It ain't show friends, it's show business. That's Derek from Spokane. Good to hear from you in Spokane. Reid Wilkins texts me this quote from Chris Knoblauch. Says, we have a lot of guys who are frustrated. It's not that they're checked out, but they're discouraged. Not a lot of optimism right now. That's a rough quote from Reid Wilkins, working the Oilers post-game and in the Hall of Fame room. All right, what do you got, boys? What are you giggling about?
That.
Yeah.
That comment, are you kidding me?
To go out and say that. Oh, boy.
Why don't you... I'm not even going to use the phrase I was about to, but I'm going to steal one from Connor. Why don't you just dig in? Frustration? You're frustrated? Well, yeah, the fan base is frustrated. The fan base is frustrated because they spend their money watching you guys play, and you don't even come out with any kind of energy and effort. So, yeah, somebody's frustrated. It shouldn't be you guys. Maybe if you showed up, then sure, then we can have a conversation about being frustrated. But if you don't put anything into it, what are you frustrated about? You don't even deserve it right now.
Yeah.
How are we going to talk about, I'm frustrated? Get the blank out of here.
I feel bad for those fans. I feel bad for those fans tonight. I truly do. The ones that are in the building. I had buddies there tonight. They left midway through the second.
Can I say something about the fans tonight? When the Oilers scored their second and third goals, even the first one, the fans cheered. I will give Oilers fans credit.
Yeah.
They go through thick and thin with this team. The ups and downs, the dark times, they stick with this team. And I actually was very surprised at how they cheered when Edmonton scored, meaningless goals, essentially. And I don't want to disparage Connor Clattenburg's first NHL goal because that's a hell of an accomplishment for a kid that's 20 years old. What was he, a 10th round OHL pick? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Worked his ass off all those years in the OHL. 18th pro game, second National Hockey League game, scores a goal. That's amazing. But the fans actually got pumped up for those goals, and I applaud them for that. You can't knock there's crazy stuff that comes from every fan base, but these fans stick with this team. I'll always say that. So I'll give them credit for tonight, 100%, watching that debacle.
Yeah, I hate that quote. I hate that quote so much. It's I'm not trying to reference and say it's the same thing with my teams, but there's times where we don't play well and guys walk down the hallway and they start smashing their stick and using expletives, and I'm like, what are you mad at? You didn't even try today, so why are you mad? It's actually impossible to be mad because you didn't care. You didn't care enough.
Didn't do anything when it mattered.
60 minutes, you didn't do when you had an opportunity to do it. 60 minutes, but now you're going to come down this hallway screaming and yelling, pretending? That's a pretender's mentality, and I hate it. I actually hate that quote. And he may be right. I don't know. I'm not in that locker room, but come on. You just give him a squeeze and try playing.
Taco texting in says, boys, a week or two ago, you said the Oilers are screwed and that they can't make a trade because they have no money. Too many players with no move clauses, no draft picks, and no desirable prospects. Tonight, you're saying that the Oilers got to make a trade sooner than later. Quit playing games with my heart. Taco. Yeah, they ideally could make a trade, but again, Taco, one of the guys from Hockey Ops kind of laughed when he's like, I don't think that trade's coming anytime soon.
Well,
so
their current cap space is $159,167. So let's do the math. Work with it. So what's the big rumor that just came out? Oh, the Oilers are targeting Binnington and a defenseman. Well, who are you getting rid of to make that happen? You're going to get Stuart Skinner? Well, last time I checked, Binnington is making $6 million.
Right.
Stuart Skinner is making 2.6.
Right.
The math isn't very good, but that don't work. Not based on 159,000. So then you're going to have to give somebody up. Well, you're going to give up Kulak? Okay, well, last time I checked, 2.6 plus 2.75 does not equal $6 million.
That's good math.
It's great math.
That's great math.
So what are you going to do? Okay, well, Nurse, $9 million. That's the guy that you're going to have to try to waive or get rid of. But is he going to waive anything? He's not doing that. So, yeah, I think everybody thinks that they need to do something to get this team out of the doldrums that they're in right now. But what can you possibly do? There's not a team in this league right now that I know of that is running up to the line to say, hey, Edmonton, come trade with me. We want to help you get out of this. If I'm a team, I'd be like, oh, man, you guys just went to 2 in a row? Yeah, we're not helping you. We're going to try to do anything we can to, bypass you guys.
St. Louis did that. Those
they took 2 of your best players. And, obviously, granted, management was sleeping at the wheel with that one, but people are looking to beat you. They're not trying to help you. So if I had a goalie, I wouldn't make a trade with the Edmonton Oilers, or I would make it so crazy to see if they would cave to make that because they're so desperate. That's just my math.
I remember the Oilers being in an incredible position of weakness when Peter Chiarelli was the GM, and they made some absolutely horrific trades. One of those guys actually was on the ice for the Dallas Stars. I'm very proud of him, having watched him grow up with my youngest brother, and to see him keep his NHL career alive. I'm very happy for him. And when he got shipped here, I was so happy for him to come home, but disappointed because he ended up in an absolute crap situation. So good on Alex Petrovic for continuing to battle through and making a career of it, staying in the National Hockey League. But the desperation with how bad things were in 18 and 19, it's a position of weakness. All right, we're going to get to some audio. Keep text coming in. We're going to read as many as we can. 780-218-9999. Let's hear from Leon Draisaitl after the Oilers get pasted 8-3.
Positive steps, and then tonight the first period was pretty tough. How do you explain the discrepancy from one game to the next?
Not sure. Don't really have an answer right now. It's just clearly start to finish not good enough.
Defensively, this group is having a hard time finding, its game and consistency. Leon, how concerning is it that the defensive side seems to be so out of your grasp right now?
Well, it's very concerning. Everything is very concerning, though. We're nearly 30 games in, and still don't seem to have it down or know what we are. So, I don't really know what to say. It's just not good enough right now.
That's the thing. It always, you guys always turn it around. You start slowly, turn it around.
It doesn't work like that. No, it doesn't. It doesn't work like that. It's, we're in a okay position right now. Not where we want to be, but okay. But time is now, right now, like tomorrow. We gotta just be better. It's very simple. We just have to be better.
Are there differences in the way you're trying to do things? Are the systems that much different? Like, you guys were, defensively, your numbers are pretty good through long stretches last year. Like, what's changed here, Leon? Because the group is largely...
we're playing on our heels a lot of nights. Very clearly not on the same page as a group, and then, all of a sudden, a lot of things get exposed that when you are on the same page, they don't get exposed, right? So we're just, we're just not intact right now. We're not in sync as a group, and we have to, figure that part out.
Leon, your goaltender's got a lot of flack here. What would you say about that, especially on a night like this?
I mean, what are they supposed to do? They're part of the team too, and I'm sure they would tell you themselves that they can be better at times. We don't need to leave them out of everything at all times, but there's not much they can do. We're giving up grade A look after grade A look, and you can't expect a goalie to stop every single one of them and win the game 3-1. It doesn't work like that. So we just have to be so much better for them.
Last 5 games here, Leon, the goals have been a little harder to come by. Where are you at with your game? What are you seeing in yourself and working on here?
Just out of sorts a little bit. Not feeling it. So take a look in the mirror and I'll make sure I'll be better.
All right, that's Leon Draisaitl. Has to start tomorrow. Has to start right now. Out of sorts. It's not always on the goalies. I mean, he said the right things, but the thing that stood out to me is he's talking about we're creeping towards 30 games in the schedule here, and they still don't have an identity. That's obvious, and it shows when you can't put 2 wins together plus. They've rattled off two wins a few times this year, but they can never get that third. That's a concern. That's a big concern. No consistency. They're consistently inconsistent. Anything in there, look in the mirror, I hear him and I go, okay, go do it then.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's a lot of the stuff that we're talking about. Hey, we're not excusing the goaltenders. The goaltenders need to be better.
Yeah. Of course.
100% in that conversation.
They suck tonight. Mm-hmm. Okay?
But if they give grade A opportunities up at an alarming rate, I would love to see the numbers today, because I bet you there's 25 of them.
Their defense sucked tonight too, Bellsy. Yeah,
and you the goal, that the 2 backdoor tap-ins, really? It's not good. Once again, the goaltending needs to be better. It's bad.
Pathetic.
But the defense is not helping the situation. It's actually making it worse. That's the reality of the situation. Your goaltending's not good. Your defense is even worse. And now it's making your goaltenders look worse. But hey, here we are.
Okay, let's go to this text, 780-218-9999. Edmonton gets pasted 8-3. Embarrassing loss at home. I have some stats for you guys as well from our good friend Brian Swain. This text says, guys, I was at the game tonight, and oh boy, what a disaster. There was nothing right from the start. A couple missed passes and mistakes in the first couple shifts from McDavid's line. 97 looked annoyed. His body language was brutal right off the hop. To me, there has to be some sort of issue in the locker room. This isn't a team that looks like they want to go to war for each other. I don't see how this gets fixed by any trade.
I don't mind that point at all.
Yeah,
because who's coming in here to supplant Leon and Connor as a leaders that is going to change this whole thing around? I don't mind that point at all. I think the room's got to figure it out, and I think they need to do some soul searching on, what do they actually want? Because if you continue to do this and it goes into December, they're in trouble. So you guys got to find a way to get connected. You got to find a way to get some chemistry. You got to find a way to get all the lines contributing. You got to find a way to get impact from guys other than Connor and Leon. You got to find a way to defend better. You got to find a way to make a save. You got to find a way to hit somebody. You got to find a way to outcoach the opposition. You got to find a way to do something that is going to help this hockey team get to the next level. And the crazy part of this whole thing is they're 10-10-5.
Yeah.
So they have the ability to go do it because they've already got 10 wins. Yes, the regulation wins, I think, are only 5, but
which is bad,
which is not good. But you're right in the thick of it.
We're 3 days removed from praising them for a successful, satisfying victory, and then they go and all that goodwill, throw it in the garbage, flush it down the toilet, whatever analogy you want to use, light it on fire, because that's exactly what they did tonight. This one says, quote, "Give them a squeeze." Great line, Belsey. Yes, I caught that one. That was a great quote. This one says, "I left after 2 tonight. All game, the Stars had easy breakouts and zone entries. Oil either just push back over blue or dump and no chase it." Yep. This one says, it's from Andrew. "I do not understand how the Oilers defense allows the opposition freedom to roam around the crease without ever being physically challenged. The defense is the major problem so far. Why have they continued to be so vanilla? There has to be real concern and change if this team is to repeat like last year. Shake up the defensive players now." And listen, that's a good point. That was from Andrew, texted that in. Ekholm is starting to fade. Bouchard, we gave him praise for a couple of good games. He was baby poop soft again. Kulak has not been good. Regula is struggling because he's only played 33 NHL games, you guys. Shocking. Who else? I mean, Nurse has been a mess this whole year. It has been awful. Wallman was good for a bit. Then he was bad. Now he's hurt. Emerson, I guess. He's filler right now. This defense is brutal. This is from Munch Master Flex. Says the reason people bring it up is because it always falls back to the same thing. And dare I say, the back-to-back cups were mostly luck. They throw poop at the wall and see if it sticks. And he put up a picture of like Wallstedt, Shilovs, Spencer Knight, and Askarovs, and their save percentages: 921 for Shilovs, Wallstedt 929, Knight 924, Askarov 926. Yes, I get it. Okay, I'm going to rattle off this stat. It's pretty alarming, unfortunately. Shocking. It's from Brian Swain, and Brian texts this to me. He says, before the Colorado game, the Oilers had given up 8 or more goals once in their previous 643 home games. They have given up 8+ in 2 of the last 3 at home. 21 goals against over the last 3 home games. Franchise record for most goals against in a span of 3 games at home, and tied for 3rd most goals against over a span of 3 games at home in the NHL since 1997. Absolutely putrid. Team defense, goaltending, whatever you want to say, 5-man unit, brutal. And those stats back that up. All right, let's go back into the locker room and hear from Connor McDavid.
Connor, how do you kind of account for what showed up in that first period?
Not good. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have many answers for you here tonight. I don't know. I don't have any answers, as I said.
So big picture defensively is something you guys have, been struggling with this year more than in previous years. So how concerning is it that the D side of the game is as far off as it is right now?
I think it stems from the whole thing. We're not good enough with the puck. And it's leading to sustained, time in our D zone. It's the whole thing, we're not getting up the ice, not forechecking pucks back, and we're playing too much in the D zone. There's not many D zone systems that hold up after, 30, 40 a minute in your D zone. It's tough to defend.
It's hard to measure maybe, but I guess you've felt it with yourself and with teammates over the years. What's the gap between where you guys are now and when you feel confident?
That's a good question. I mean, obviously not very good tonight. The gap seems pretty far tonight, but I don't know. I don't know. You're asking me to measure the gap. I don't know what the gap is. between us playing our best and where we're at right now, it's obviously pretty far.
So there's games where you're maybe not going to have it and need to figure out ways to get back into games. There seems to be a lot of nights this year, Connor, where your group is struggling to figure out how to re-engage in games. Are you sensing that, and why?
Well, yeah. There's definitely been 2 significant ones where we've let it get away on us. Both here on home ice, both unacceptable. So, have to find a way to generate our own momentum, our own energy, our own, and find a way to get ourselves going.
Your goaltending comes under a lot of flack. I just wonder what you think about that, especially on a night like tonight.
I really feel like goaltending is a team thing. Tough for goalies to look good when the group in front of them is not playing well. I don't really care who it is. When the team in front of them is not playing up to their standards, then tough for a goalie to look good. Felt bad for both of them tonight.
Is this eroding the team's confidence in its ability to turn this thing around?
The group's still got lots of confidence, right? We still got confidence. I mean, I know it doesn't seem like it, but there's still an overarching belief that we'll figure it out. Obviously, it doesn't look that way right now, but at least I still feel it.
Connor, I know you and Leon both take a lot of responsibility to push things offensively, and a team game in the right direction. Where are you at with your game here recently, and what are you looking for?
I could definitely be better. Certainly be better. My job to push the play, and I haven't been doing that.
Okay, that was Connor McDavid. He says he feels like the team still has confidence. He has confidence in this team. I'll just ask you this, Bellsy. Where does that confidence come from? How does he have confidence in this team? Leon didn't sound like a guy who had confidence in this team, and those two are yin and yang. Is he just BSing us? Where is he getting this confidence in this group from? I know he's the best in the world. I bow to him.
Yeah, I think there's always the belief that they can play their way out of it because they've done that in the past. But these games that they've been losing are very different than the way that they were losing before.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Like getting caved in and not having pushback, that's tough to see. If you remember the game that, Woodcroft and Manson were walking across the ice, and they're like, Kate, well, that's it, buddy.
Yep.
Even that game, there was more than what you've seen in some of the games that have happened this year. And so I think that's one of the biggest issues that you have. Sure, he's got the confidence because he knows that there's still good players in that locker room. Hyman's still there. Nuge is still there. Owa, he's hurt, though. But Nuge is around. Draisaitl's around. You got guys that have the skill to get them out of the abyss. Mm-hmm. So I think that's where that confidence comes from. But I think the follow-up question should be, okay, well, you have the confidence to do that. Well, then who's going to help get this team out of the abyss?
We need a few more guys.
Yeah, because right now, the way that you guys are playing, there's no hope. And once again, I realize, hey, Florida, you played well.
Yep.
You did.
They did.
But you're at home. Playing at home is there's got to be some kind of pride to it. You get shellacked 8-3 on the road. Okay. Yeah, you hide and you can get out of there. You get back on the plane, you drive, you fly back to Edmonton. It's home ice. It's your fans. There's got to be something. And they're not getting blown out on the road. They're getting blown out at home. It's a concern. So that, to me, is a follow-up question of, hey, I'm happy that you have confidence. I'm happy that you feel like you have the ability to get out of this, but who's going to do it?
Right. All right, let's go to Conroe, Texas. Texting in says, this team lacks the mental makeup to be a champion. Did Connor and Leon even play in this game? They have the physical talent, but mentally they're weak. And when others see this, they sink to their level. Every signing this year has been a major fail except for Roslovic, and he was a happy accident. Just pathetic. That one signed off by Conroe, Texas. Oily Doughboy, good to hear from Oily Doughboy, says maybe Dustin Schwartz wasn't the problem. You know.
Oh boy.
Mm-hmm. Haven't heard that name in a little bit.
Well, yeah. This one from Norman at Combine. Hello, Norm. Says, tonight's game and the Avalanche game remind me of the 90s when those two clubs kicked the Oilers all over the rink. Have a great night, gents. Good to hear from you, Norm. This one out of Sask from Munchmaster Flex says, Davo sounded defeated. What would you guys do to shake it up? Bets post-game. Or best post game in the league. Thank you, Munchmaster Flex. We appreciate it. How can you shake it up? What can you do to shake it up?
Just start sitting people. That's the only thing you have to do, because I was looking at Puckpedia, and I think they have 7 no-move contracts up front alone. And then on the back end, Bouchard, Ekholm, Nurse, Wallman, I believe all have no movement contracts. So 11 of your essentially 18 starting players have no moves. All the guys with big money, so you can't even trade. So you need to do one of two things: make that person's life so miserable that he doesn't want to be there, which does not happen.
Trouba situation.
Yeah, that doesn't happen very often.
Chris Drury did a good job with that.
Yeah,
he did. Or you find a way to figure it out and have it happen from within. And that is the real problem. And that's why I keep going back to hey, how are you going to make the trade? So it's very hard. And I know people are like, well, Colorado did it with two gold. Once again, I get it. That happened, but not all trades are alike. So it's a very, very hard situation. You're in a situation where you got way too many no moves, and the guys that you could move, I don't want to be disrespectful to them, but are guys signing up to go get Janmark?
Your boy, Tom.
Yeah. All I was told was there has been interest in him in the past. The teams that are interested in him are very interested in him, and it's not gone past that. So I'll leave that.
So what are you going to get? You can get Binnington for that?
No. Well, and he makes what, 1.5, I think.
Yeah,
something like that.
To me, there's if it's specifically Binnington, I'm sorry, I don't know who you gotta ask Nurse the wave, which we're talking about. Are you Jake Trouba him? I doubt that happens. Especially, I understand everyone's been like, okay, it's a business, not but the friendships to Connor and Leon, they need to go away. But I just have a hard time thinking that Connor and Leon would be happy with them if they were to Trouba Darnell. But to me, there's just no money that can go out right now.
All right, I'm going to get to the turning point of the game presented by Advanced Sport Medicine and Physiotherapy. Connor McDavid's got a team of specialists. You've got a bag of frozen peas. You could throw a few bags of frozen peas at the Oilers tonight after that one. Mm-hmm. Get the same locker room approach that's trusted by the best in the game at Advantage Sport Medicine. Book your assessment today, www.advantagesportmed.ca, or call 780-460-9977. Your turning point of the game. I'm just going to, this one was the dagger. Not that they really had a hope in hell anyway, but at this point, you're just like, holy crap, is this going to be another Colorado game? And it essentially got very close. But when Sam Steele buried the 4-0 goal, after the Bastion goal had been called off for a high stick, Steele tucks one home, and you just saw how limp the Oilers were defensively. how easy it was for Steele to bury it off the Jamie Benn shot. No, Skinner couldn't make a good save. Hit the post, bounced up. Nobody defending in front. Very soft in front of the Oilers net, as it has been all season long. All season long. That is a free zone for offensive players to go in there and do whatever they want. And Sam Steele just sat there, watched the puck bounce right to his doorstep, and he just bangs it home at 18:46, his third of the year from Ben and Johnston, 4-0 at that point. Game over. That is your Advantage Sport Medicine and Physiotherapy turning point of the game. Book your assessment today at www.advantagesportmed.ca or call 780-460-9977. Let's welcome in Reid Wilkins. It's going to be all of us tonight. Reid, the last time we had you was that Colorado game where we did this all together, and boy, oh boy, we had what a night in the satellite studio. It's Reid's Read, brought to you by eWell, your power play specialist. eWell has the gear you need for your next electrical project with 3 Edmonton area locations, and you can order online anytime at ewell.ca. eWell, your Edmonton-based partner in power and source for all things electrical. Reid, we'll just start with your thoughts on what we witnessed tonight at Rogers Place.
Well, I think the turning point was July 16th when the NHL schedule was released, because this one was over before it even started.
Hey, now.
I mean, they're not good at anything. The Edmonton Oilers tonight were not good at anything. Pick an area of the game, and they were deficient. They were poor. They were clearly second best to the Dallas Stars. Any area of the game, on or off ice, like I don't care. Pick something. I actually was pleasantly surprised at Leon Draisaitl's post-game, because he often sulks when they lose. Like, I think we've all seen the post-game scrums where he won't stand. He pulls his hat down over his eyes. He gives short answers. Like, I thought he was the best of any of them tonight about talking about what's going on. I think they are a little bit shocked themselves that they're this bad. I thought his answer about goaltending was probably the best you could put it. Like, he said, what do you expect them to do? He said, you can't leave them out of everything. And he basically said there are nights that they've needed better goaltending. But he also said, what are they supposed to do when you defend this poorly? I thought that was a fair way to put it.
Right.
You know, speaking about his teammates. And, like, that was a great way to put it. Like, you can't leave them out of everything. You can't separate goaltending from the entire discussion. So that was good. But, you know, I asked a question tonight that I actually hate asking, but it's at the point where, as a reporter, I'm trying to get answers and, you know, see what they'll have to say. Like, I asked McDavid about the confidence level gap, and he didn't, you know, like, there is one. Like, they kind of know that they don't feel as good, but, you know, they can't put their finger on that either. And then Knoblauch, I don't know if you got to Knoblauch yet.
No, we haven't.
I haven't heard quite the whole thing. But, I mean, he said they got to fix everything: the breakout, the forecheck, the net front play, and the level of passion and the level of emotion. And that's maybe the most difficult thing for me to reconcile. I mean, look, going into this season, I think most of us thought that the roster wasn't as good as last year. Like, I talked a lot about the goal deficit.
Right.
You know, how do you replace Perry, and even what Arvidsson and Skinner scored? Who's going to replace those? You know, clearly the goaltending's an ongoing discussion. You know, and I thought the defense might be okay, at least in terms of their puck moving. But now they can't break out the puck. Nobody scores with any consistency. I mean, quite frankly, they might as well have been shut out in this game. Like, all their goals were garbage time goals. Maybe you could argue making it 4-1, and it was a nice moment for Clattenburg. So they don't really do anything well. But on top of all that, there's no element of passion to the game. And okay, you know, I know a lot of people who are into analytics hate that. Well, don't talk about passion and grit. You can't measure that. Well, you can measure that. How do you react when you're scored on? What does the next shift look like? how often do you create a scrum around the other team's net? I mean, I'll give Henrique and Janmark credit that they at least did that once tonight, but it's once.
Good point.
How do you react around in front of your own net when your goalie's getting peppered or getting pushed around? How do you try to fire up your team when you are down 4-0 after the first period or 2-0 9 minutes into the game? And they don't do any of these things. And this is the crazy thing, Tom. You talked about those teams in the late 90s and early 2000s that used to lose to Colorado and Dallas, sometimes this bad, almost all the time, and certainly in several playoff series. Well, at least those teams played with fire. Like they clearly had, take away the Waits and Arnott's and Guerins of the world. Like they were kind of very mediocre hockey teams.
Yes.
I know there were other good players, and they had Cujo and Salo was on some of those. I don't think Salo ever won a series, but still, like they kind of just scrapped, and you felt like, well, they're probably not good enough, but they're not going to get pushed around and wilt.
Yes,
like this team wilts, or quite frankly, they're not even stiff to begin with. I don't know if there's such a thing as a stiff plant or a wilted plant. I don't know if a plant is either stiff or wilted. Maybe there's a botanist out there that can help me. I asked Knoblauch about that, and Rashog followed up, and that's another thing they're searching for is some sort of passion. I mean, at least Clattenburg made an impact tonight. And wasn't it shocking to see an Edmonton Oilers player celebrate a goal? Like, good for him.
Yeah.
He celebrated his first goal. Like, I was afraid he was going to be like, oh, wait, Connor doesn't. I better not.
It was fantastic, but who celebrated with him? There should have been some energy for a guy that just scored his first goal.
Yeah.
Nothing.
So everything is lacking. I think I'm pointing out the obvious. I'm probably not telling people things they haven't noticed. What changes? Well, I don't know. Is there going to be some sort of a trade just to shake something up? I don't think Knoblauch is going to get fired.
Yeah.
I do think this is a weaker coaching staff than last year. I think the best, maybe the best assistant coach in the league last year is now the head coach of the Dallas Stars.
Yep.
So good for him. And this is the thing, like it's now I'm not giving Stan Bowman because quite frankly, Bowman is heavily to blame for this. He gambled on a lot of players. And I don't think he's won on any of them except Roslovic. He gambled on some younger players. He gambled on Tomaszek. In some extent, he gambled on bringing the same goalies back. To some extent, he gambled on Regula and Stetcher and Emerson being 6, 7, and 8. He's lost most of those gambles. But this is the problem now: is the Oilers are trading from a position of weakness.
Yes,
so. Hey, let's put Stu Skinner's name on the wire. Oh, really? The guy who stopped half the shots he faced in his most recent appearance.
So enticing, Reid.
Yeah.
Let me get on that trade.
So I'm sorry I don't have anything more positive to say. I still believe they can play better. Again, I'm not sure they can play a lot better. But it's. I mean, look, I heard that Swainer stat like two times in the last 3 games, 8 goals against on home ice after once in the previous 600 or whatever it was. I mean, look, let's face it, guys. Right now, this is probably the second worst team in the National Hockey League.
643 home games right now.
Yeah. But I think right now, probably the Nashville, like if you were to do the power rankings right now, probably Nashville's 32nd. And I think Edmonton's 31st. Right now, I'm not talking about the standings or how I think it's going to finish by the end of the year. Like right now, Buffalo is better than the Oilers. Columbus is better than the Oilers.
That's pathetic.
Calgary is better than the Oilers. Right now.
Pathetic. They just beat the defending Stanley Cup champions who were banged up. Can I say something really quickly about the defense and the composition of the defense? I don't care for you one-upping the Boston Bruins because they had a plan for Alec Regula. Like, good on you if you think you caught them off guard or something like that. I never understood the Ty Emberson thing, but if you thought you had something there and your scouts identified something, great. But I'm sorry, you guys, this idea of building a defense with guys who just move the puck well and being quick up type defensemen and going heavy that route. Like they emphasized when they went and got John Klingberg, and they obviously continued on into this year. To me, that is lunacy. If you don't have an asshole on defense that hurts other guys on the other team and can't break and can break up a cycle and plays tough in front of his net, if you don't even have one of those, huge problem. If you don't have two of those, very concerning. I would like three of them, to be honest with you, because I'm sorry. Guys who are tough to go to the net against are scary. All right? I don't care like if you're 5'9" or 6'3", but when you see a guy that looks like he would absolutely fold you in half because he's mad and you're on the ice with him, that's intimidating. And the Oilers have nice, good guys back there. And I would look at that, and I'm not a big guy, and I would go, okay, I'm going to go to the front net. Because guess what? Guess what, Shawn Belle? I know I'm not going to get hurt, and the puck might land on my feet, and I might be able to bang it home. And I have seen, and I'm not going to repeat stuff I've seen, but I've done some lip reading, and I feel like what I just said is something that is felt by forwards around the National Hockey League. I watched a small forward say something absolutely vulgar and inappropriate for what we're able to say on the air to one of the biggest Oilers defensemen, and he didn't even say bat an eyelash. And I was like, oh my God, did that guy just say what I think he said? And he got away with it. There are no guys on the Oilers blue line that would intimidate anyone, okay? And to me, that's a massive problem. I just want to get that off my chest. And this idea of putting guys that are smooth puck movers, that get it up to the forwards quickly, it ain't working. And the best player in the world just talked about it.
So can I add to that, just give you the other side of the coin?
Sure.
So you bring in puck movers so that you can get those pucks to your forwards, right? So if you watch the Dallas Stars play today, and every time there was a neutral zone regroup, that puck wasn't being held onto. That puck would be moving north as fast as it possibly could to get onto the sticks of the Dallas forwards so that they could get it into the zone and apply pressure with a good forecheck or use their skill. It was almost relentless. The problem that I have with the Oilers defense is that if you're supposed to be puck-moving defensemen, then why are we holding on to it forever? Waiting for guys to swing, doing all sorts of different things. And then when we do try to pass it, we put it off the shin pads of the opposing players or the skates of the opposing players, and it's a turnover and it comes back our way. If you are going to play that way and you're going to have defensemen that do it, then play in a fashion that plays as quick as you possibly can, utilize the strength of that particular decor, and get the puck going north. Stop waiting for it. It doesn't make any sense. So I agree with your point, Tommy, with hey, you need some guys back there that have some snarl and they can play hard and make it a miserable night. But if you have puck-moving defensemen, then allow them to do some puck moving as opposed to just waiting, turnover, other way, in your net.
Yep.
Rinse and repeat.
Yep.
So then you might have, as a coach, you might have to tweak your system. Take a page right out of the Dallas Stars book and say, okay, as soon as we have the ability to turn this puck up, we're turning it up. Get to your spots forwards. We're going back on the offense. That's the issue that I have with this current iteration of the defense.
Yeah, I think that's a great point, Shawn. And first of all, Tom, it's interesting. The player you are describing is Adam Larson.
Yep.
Yes.
But unfortunately, some tragic things happened and he didn't want to stay with the Oilers.
That's fair. Yes.
And Ekholm is supposed to be somewhat that player, but and there's another gamble Bowman already took with the Ekholm extension. And I think there's some questions about that now. I think that's a great point, Shawn. Like I just watching when I watch on TV and watch from up top with you guys, and I've probably muttered it to you guys several times. Well, I know I have. Belzy, I know you're not there as much, but you've probably heard me do it. like the constant regrouping. Oh no, circle back. Oh no, circle back. Oh no, pass back to the D. As opposed to, okay, get it up the ice. And maybe it's not perfect, but you're making the other team react before they're set. Mm-hmm. It's like, it'd be almost like snapping the ball in football before the defense is quite in position. You might not have the perfect play, but it doesn't have to be perfect because the defense isn't quite ready, as opposed to, moving people around and the defense is like, oh, this is what they're doing. Okay, we'll just set up here because we know how they're going to come at us. So yeah, you described it and understand it way more technically than I do, Shawn, but I just look at it as like, why are we passing backwards? Why are the Oilers passing backwards? I get it to some extent. You want to get control, and sometimes it allows for a line change. But there are times where it's like, I hate to say this because you have to have the puck to score, but it's almost an overemphasis on puck possession. Like at some point it needs to get down to the other end, and you got to muck around the other team's net.
Do something with the puck, like you said, Reid. Jesus. Dusty texting in says, isn't Darnell Nurse supposed to be this player? Yeah, his edge is gone. Sure. His edge is completely dulled. I'm sorry. He doesn't do anything edgy anymore. I don't know where that went. 780-218-9999. Jump into the nasty chat. It's Reid's Read, brought to you by Ewell. All right, Reid. They have to play on Saturday. I mean,
they sure do. The schedule decrees it.
Right? See you in Seattle at 2:00 Mountain Time. They'll probably play better.
Oddly enough, they probably will.
Yeah.
They're off tomorrow.
Oh, good.
So Thursday's the practice and the autograph session.
Yep.
And then Friday will probably be a practice and fly because there won't be a morning skate Saturday. Yeah, I mean, again, I'm at the point where it's like, why would I think they're going to win? They may play better, but you have to prove it to me for several games. I mean, okay, they teased it on the road trip a little bit, last couple games, maybe a little bit in Philadelphia, sure. So, but this is the thing, like getting half their points is getting half your available points in the National Hockey League is missing the playoffs by at least 10, if not 13 to 15.
Correct.
Because, it depends on the year, but usually you have to get to at least 92 to at least have a chance.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the thing, with a little over 2/3 of the season to go, can the Oilers play 10 games over 500? That's what they have to do. And going back and forth, win 2, lose 2, win in overtime, lose, losing over, it's not going to be good enough. Maybe it is a fine line. Maybe it is a confidence thing. Maybe there's still some gelling with some of the new guys in the room. Maybe. But like Draisaitl said, it's almost 30 games. I mean, the new guy thing only lasts for so long. And the age-old question is what if it is a confidence thing, what comes first, the winning or the confidence? Like, are they going to have to scratch out a couple ugly wins and then maybe start feeling better? Or are they just going to have to get some belief back and then maybe that leads to some victories? Because, Knoblauch was great. He talked about them being discouraged. He said, I don't think they're checked out, but I think there are guys who are discouraged. So how do you get over that right now? And then again, if they do get over that, is the roster physically good enough to perform that much better?
They've won back-to-back games 3 times this season. They have one true 3-game losing streak, and then they went winless in 3 twice. So they always kind of find find a good game, dig out a win, and then they go into the crapper for a couple, or they win 2 and then kind of go back and forth. So super inconsistent. All right, Reid. You were very good tonight.
As were you, Tom, Shawn, and Benny.
There you go. There's Reid's Reid, brought to you by Ewell, your power play specialist. Ewell has the gear you need for your next electrical project with 3 Edmonton area locations, and you can order online anytime at ewell.ca. Ewell, your Edmonton-based partner in power and source for all things electrical. You can slide in a couple of texts if you want to as we continue on here, 780-218-9999. Fergie's Prostate says, sorry, Tom. McDavid is not the best player in the world. It's Nathan McKinnon. Yeah, you know what, Fergie, right now, I'm not going to argue that because you're right. Let's get to Benny's player of the game, brought to you by Damon Bunting Real Estate. Damon Bunting, he's been a consistent top-producing realtor in the greater Edmonton area for over 18 years. He and his team would love to help you find that right home or make the move from your current home. Check him out, damonbunting.com, or visit his Instagram at Damon Bunting Real Estate. Benny, I've been getting very flustered and angry at some stuff tonight, so take it away, pal.
Well, let's let the spirits a little bit. First of all, let's do this.
Changing 100.
The light. Yep. The light.
I'll get some clicks in for that.
Yep. Make sure to keep hit the thumbs up on the show here. Best post-game show in Edmonton. I mean, this one's pretty easy.
Humble brag.
Yeah. This one's pretty easy. I mean, the only guy that showed any fire tonight, who I'm 2 years older than, Connor Clattenburg, run around, hitting everything he sees, scores his first NHL goal in his 18th
pro
game ever.
That's correct. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, that was honestly one of the only positives tonight. I mean, like, Pod Colton gives a consistent effort pretty much every night and whatever. But yeah, Connor Clattenburg, who knows? Maybe he sticks around. Like, maybe this is something that's like, hey, well, all right, he plays over this guy when they're healthy. But I don't know. We'll see. He was like the only thing going for them in orange and blue tonight. So yeah, I feel like it would be a disservice if he wasn't the player of the game today.
Adam from Lloyd agrees with you, says, man, that was a listless effort by the Oilers tonight. The only player that showed up was 20-year-old rookie in his second game. And then he has the Oilers breakouts look like a beer league team compared to Dallas. And then Adam from Lloyd shredded them. Rightly so. 8-3, the Oilers fall to the Dallas Stars. Embarrassed in front of their home crowd. Bellsy, look ahead to Saturday. Just real quick.
Well, I mean, the only way you can look ahead is you guys show up. Find a way to get back on the board. Find a way to fix some of the things that are ailing you. That's really the only thing you can look ahead to, because good news, you're 10-5. Bad news, it's what have you done for me lately, league? Mm-hmm. And right now, based off what we just saw, you're not very good. So hopefully you can only look up, and it starts by showcasing some effort, which is the craziest thing for me to say right now, because it's very disappointing that we have to consistently go back to effort.
Yep. One step forward, about 3 steps back tonight, boys. Not good. Not good at all. The Oilers get embarrassed by the Dallas Stars. 8-3. That's going to do it for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream post-game show right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. We thank you all for watching. We thank you all for listening, putting up with all the BS from tonight. My goodness, so much to talk about. And Dusty, Lieutenant Eric, and YouTube Trev will have plenty to discuss in the morning, starting at 6 a.m. on the Nielsen Show. You can catch it here on EST's YouTube channel, as well as on iHeart, TuneIn Radio, and then, of course, on 95.7 Cruise FM. And then we'll have a lot of content all day long until 6 p.m. right here on EST. We appreciate you guys so very, very much. Tough one tonight. This team, knowing them, probably bounces back against a much improved Seattle team on Saturday, but only time will tell, and they have to show it to everybody. That's for damn sure. The Oilers lose 8-3 to the Dallas Stars in their first game back from a 7-game road trip. Guess what? Back on the road for the Orange and Blue, 2 o'clock start on Saturday. For Bellsy, for Reid, for Benny, I'm Tommy saying thank you. As always, have yourselves a great night. Ciao for now.